for us to be successful in these areas, we really have to think through the economic implications because most people aren't spending a lot of time right now worrying about singularity. They are worrying about, wow, is my job going to be replaced by a machine? And I tend to be on the optimistic side that historically we've absorbed new technologies and people find that new jobs are created and they migrate and our standards of living generally go up. I do think that we may be in a slightly different period now simply because of the pervasive applicability of AI and other technologies, where high skill folks do very well in these systems. They can leverage their talents, they can interface with machines to extend their reach, their sales, their products, their services. Low-wage, low-skill individuals become more and more redundant, and their jobs may not be replaced, but wages are suppressed. And if we are going to successfully manage this transition, we are going to have a societal conversation about how do we manage that? How are we training and ensuring the economy is inclusive? If in fact we're producing more than ever, but more and more of it's going to a small group at the top, how do we make sure that folks have a living income? What does it mean in terms of us supporting things like the arts or culture or making sure our veterans are getting cared for? So the social compact has to accommodate these new technologies, and our economic models have to accommodate them. The good news is that's not going to happen overnight. Let's say that's a 20, 30-year process.
And I don't know what you think about universal basic income, but But as we start to see people getting displaced, there's also this idea of, can we look at other models like academia or the arts where people have purpose, or people who take care of kids at home, and can we somehow, so I think one of the problems is there's this general notion sort of on Wall Street, how can you be so smart and not have any money, right? And now going into academia, I realize there are a lot of smart people with no money. And so
you're exactly right. And that's what I mean by redesigning the social compact. Now, whether a universal income is the right model, is that going to be accepted by a broad base of people? That's a debate that we'll be having over the next 10 years, next 20 years. And you're also right that the jobs that are going to be displaced by AI are not just low-skill service jobs. They might be high-skilled jobs, but ones that are repeatable and computers can do. What is indisputable, though, is that as AI gets further incorporated and the society potentially gets wealthier, that the link between production and distribution, how much you work and how much you make, gets further and further attenuated because the computers are doing a lot of the work. And as a consequence, we then have to make some tougher decisions. We underpay teachers despite the fact that that's a really hard job that's really hard for a computer to do well, to replace a really good teacher. For us to re-examine what we value, what we collectively are willing to pay for, whether it's teachers, nurses, caregivers, moms, dads who stay at home, artists, all the things that are incredibly valuable to us, but right now don't rank high on the totem pole. That's a conversation that we need to begin to have. And Joey's identified, I think, the the ways in which this could be solved. But it's going to require, I think, a new way of thinking, and that's not going to happen right away.